You've probably seen all over social media that people are sharing their sleep scores, and I am so glad that people are catching on to how important your sleep, gut, and environment are to your quality of life. Hey, I'm Dr. Mamina, and today I am sharing things that I have done in my home and life that have made the biggest difference for me as a board-certified dermatologist and certified longevity nerd. And I know a lot of this content can be overwhelming or even confusing, so my comments are open to you. No question is too small. I've had over 30,000 patient interactions, so I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that if your sleep, gut, and hormones are dysregulated, your skin and energy will definitely show it. We're talking breakouts, inflammation, dullness, premature aging, exhaustion. These are often internal signals, not just surface issues. So let's start with something that is absolutely foundational but constantly overlooked: air quality. Now that might sound kind of random, but indoor air pollution contributes to things like oxidative stress, inflammation, which then can cause skin barrier disruption. If you live in a city, have pets, or allergies, an air filter can make a noticeable difference in your home, not just for breathing, but for skin calmness and even sleep quality. These can be an investment, but hear me out. Indoor air can actually be dirtier than outside air because a lot of homes are not made to breathe. They're made with a variety of different materials that can potentially be toxic. Our furniture are filled with things like VOCs, or volatile organic compounds, like particle board, MDF, foam, synthetic fabrics, glues, and finishes, releasing chemicals like formaldehyde, benzene, toluene. I mean, I could go on. And don't even get me started on allergies and allergens that exist all over our home. Okay, so now let's get into which air purifiers I like. First, well, I actually own a couple of these. I love it. It's the Jasper Air Scrubber. It runs about $1,200, but what I love is that they do have a 30-day full buy back policy. It's designed to remove both large particles like dust and pet dander and tiny particles like mold spores, smoke, bacteria, and VOCs. Cleaner indoor air reduces inflammatory load on the body, which can improve sleep quality, respiratory health, and even skin sensitivity over time. And I think of this as a higher level home health upgrade, especially if you live somewhere humid, like here in New Orleans, if you have allergies, or if you're concerned about mold exposure. Another air purifier option that I have and love just as much is the Molecule Air Pro, which helps improve indoor air quality by not just trapping pollutants, but actually breaking down things like viruses, bacteria, mold, and VOCs. The Pro will run you about $1,000, or the Mini is about $400. Whichever air filter you get, you will need to change the filter about every 6 months to ensure that it can do its job. Next longevity hack: water filters. Hard water and contaminants can worsen skin issues like eczema, dryness, scalp irritation, and even hair breakage or hair loss. A simple shower filter or sink filter can help reduce exposure to things like chlorine, heavy metals, and forever chemicals. One of my favorite filters for faucets and shower heads is Filter Baby, and these can range from about $120 to $140, but I think it's worth it. Another option that I think is worth pursuing, but it is definitely a much bigger investment, is looking into whole house water filtration. We personally do have a whole house water filtration system. We don't use the reverse osmosis for the whole house because it can actually lower the water pressure, but we do use reverse osmosis for our kitchen sink as drinking water. Clean, purified water supports your skin barrier and scalp health over time. And of course, if you're drinking it, that is important for overall health. Now, this one matters more than people realize. Eating within 3 hours of bedtime can disrupt things like digestion, insulin regulation, and growth hormone release. All of these can affect your metabolic health, your skin repair, your hormones. It can affect your sleep, as well as just overall longevity. You want to think of it like this: if you are eating right before bed, your body is spending energy trying to digest that food. It's getting distracted by all that instead of putting energy towards repair and rest. So if you want better sleep, hormones, skin recovery, give your body time to rest, not digest at night. Now, light exposure can control your circadian rhythm, which controls hormones. At night, consider switching to warm or red toned lighting. Avoid bright overhead lights and screens when possible. Blue light suppresses a hormone called melatonin. We love melatonin because it's responsible for making us sleepy. If it's hard to change the lighting in your house, blue light blocking glasses can help, especially if you're on screens in the evening. These are ones that I wear. The brand is True Dark. I actually do believe I get more sleepy when I wear these. Now, this is one of the simplest and most powerful habits. Getting morning sunlight within the first hour of waking helps regulate cortisol, improves sleep later that night, and supports hormone balance. I would say just 5 to 10 minutes outside makes a big difference, and this is coming from a dermatologist. It's really the signal that you get from the sun to your brain that matters. I would still make sure that you're practicing sun protection protective measures, especially if the UV index is high. Red light therapy supports things like mitochondrial health, collagen production, and inflammation reduction. And this isn't about chasing trends, it's about supporting your body's ability to repair itself. When buying a red light panel, focus on wavelengths. Look for around 630 to 680 with red light wavelengths and about 810 to 850 for near infrared wavelengths. Look for higher irradiance for effective energy and a suitable size for your goals. You know, you can use a small one for spots or a mask, or a large panel for full body effect. Also, check for safety features like low EMF, low flicker, third-party testing, quality LEDs, good cooling, including eye protection, adjustable settings like the timer, the intensity, and a separate red and near infrared setting. And of course, also helpful to have a good warranty and durability. I'm a big fan of fermented foods as a daily longevity habit. Foods like kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and yogurt can help support gut biodiversity, which plays a major role in inflammation, immune health, and even skin clarity. A healthier gut environment often translates to calmer skin and better overall resilience. One of the most underrated longevity habits for sleep, skin, and hormones is simply consistent movement. So that includes zone 2 cardio, strength training, and even relaxing daily walks. Zone 2 cardio is moderate intensity movement where you can hold a conversation but wouldn't want to sing. So think things like brisk walking, steady cycling, or an easy jog. This is a zone that trains your mitochondria to work more efficiently. From a longevity perspective, the goal isn't really intensity, it's metabolic health, mitochondrial function, and hormonal balance. Strength training can help preserve muscle mass, improve insulin sensitivity, and bone density as we get older. And low stress movements, just like walking, can help regulate cortisol, which directly affects sleep and skin inflammation. A good target to aim for, which I don't know, might seem kind of hard, but try to shoot for 150 to 300 minutes of movement per week, mixing cardio, resistance training, and recovery-focused activity. The biggest takeaway, consistency matters far more than intensity. Movement that you can sustain long-term is what actually supports longevity. And remember, you don't need to do everything at once. Start with 1 or 2 changes and build from there. If this was helpful, subscribe. If you want to know the best red light masks to purchase, go watch the video in the description box below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.